Good evening. Welcome to Your Ass Hurts News Network, coming to you live from the tip top of Cock Tower Square, with your host, Sergeant Friday. Sarge.
Why, thank you, Stick Toes. You sound much more pleasant than the other character we have on here. Cletus?
Good evening, Sarge. Good evening.
Good evening. Waiting for this thing to start. It should have started. I don't get it. All right. There we go. So, how the hell are you there, Cletus?
Tired.
Tired? Why are you tired?
Fixed some brakes and it broke me.
Broken brakes.
Yeah.
Well, and do they work now? Does the vehicle come to a stop, or is it still got to coast uphill?
It's sitting still, so we'll see what happens when we put some momentum behind it. But
yeah, one of them brake jobs where you got to find a hill to get to a full stop, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! So what do we have tonight? Let me look here. I forgot what the title is. We're going to introduce you to some of the viewers that are fucked up from the floor up, because 5.62 billion of you probably can relate to these fucking losers, and we just want to make a point that these people play an active role in putting tragedy inside of a tragedy where no tragedy should be placed. Fair enough, Cletus?
It's a tragedy.
So tonight the word's going to be tragedy. The other night, I think the word was shit.
Cletus. Yeah.
And so, we ourselves are fucked up from the floor up. We don't have any argument with that, do we, Cletus?
No, not a
bit. But our kind of fucked up isn't evil. Is that fair?
Yeah.
And it's sort of evil to attack Chris Proudfoot and Katie Proudfoot and even Seth without having any fact in order to make reason to even fucking think of doing that. Is that fair?
I would say that's fair.
Right. So we have no evidence to suggest these people did anything, okay, except lost a child. And so I made a point to look over at the Dolly Vision and a few other rooms. And I want to point out names of users that play a big role in this fucking causing tragedy where no tragedy should exist. And these people are actual moderators of these shows. Now, my understanding with moderators, I've had a bad experience with moderators, to be very honest with you. I'm not going to get too specific. But most of you moderators are more fucked up from the floor up than the viewer. For some reason, it's like special ed enters into their head. Cletus?
I think you slightly offended the queen of moderation.
Okay, let me be a little bit more clear. Where the streams always go to create tragedy where none exists. Okay, that's what we're focusing on. There are streams and moderators that are absolutely fantastic, and I'd like to mention one, some that people might be familiar with, and they often mistake it to be two words and a single two names, which is Clue Minotti. But don't mistake that for a name. Clue Minotti, all one word. Good stream. Dago does a pretty good stream too. There's that 11+1 does a pretty good stream. Cletus, you know others. Share. Who else does it?
Cindy Kerf is an amazing mod.
There you go. What other streams do we know of that try to stay to the issues at hand with the information as it's presented and not create some fantasy fucking world accusation? Who else do we know does that? Right? Like tonight, we can explain. Look what happened tonight with that young missing girl in Dago's show, right?
Right.
That we now know we can say that girl has been found safe. Is that correct from the help desk?
Yeah, that's what somebody tweeted. So.
Okay.
So a little birdie told you.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, there's no official announcement as such. It's just somebody stated it.
Hold on. I think the person was with a news station.
Okay. All right.
That's one less tragedy.
Oh, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, and I just saw a name over, and I just want to bring up the big tragedy pimp over is that Terry is one of the big tragedy ones, like JLR. These people create tragedy and allegations and conflict between people that are already suffering loss. And then they come in with their bullshit and their accusations because the guy fucking scratched his ear during an interview, and that means something in sign language or some shit. That's what these lunatics do. And one of the mods that just came across the screen, this is one of the people that need to be exposed. Special needs mom 3. So if you're involved with a child that had special needs and you participate in the shit Terry's doing, you need some special fucking help. Special needs mother. Cletus?
Why the designation 3, I wonder.
You know, listen, I mean, these people are constantly going after Chris and Katie and accusing them of having some wrongdoing, or at the very least, you know, they may be parents that lost their child without any involvement, but look what kinds of pieces of shit they are. At the very best, that's what these people are doing. Fair enough?
That's fair.
So it turns out that these two individuals had zero to do with it. And to this point, they have zero to do with it because there's nothing showing they had anything to do with it. That's not good enough. We got to turn them into the enemy of the world, the worst pieces of shit to ever have a child. Fair enough?
That's fair. Because
and the child involved is this special needs child. And of course, the special needs mom wouldn't want to take parents that lost their special need child, wouldn't want to give them any compassion or any consideration that these people are suffering a massive tragedy. No, let's just jump in with both feet into the shit pond that the T-Revs make, the Terry Lynn's make, the Dollies make, the JLRs make. Let's just jump into that shit pond and put on our higher moral fucking face mask, okay? And turn yourself into a tragedy pimp, beating up on people that are absolutely done nothing to you. You nasty, nasty. Alyssa P., another moderator that participates with Terry. Southern Sunflower Suzanne. Yeah, you're a fucking sunflower. You're definitely a sunflower of some kind. Keep up the chatter. Ambulance girl. Yeah, ambulance girl. That's perfect. You probably work for a law firm, ambulance chasing. Vano. Okay. All of these fucking people, and these are Nurse Jen 75. All of these moderators. Karen B, Alyssa P, Woozy Cuzzy, Justin for all of these fucking people prompting this woman and continuing it and joining in with this woman while they attack the parents of a missing child.
Well, you know who Justin is. Let's clutch them nuts.
Yeah, he's got a pearl necklace, I'm sure. Keep up the chatter. All of these moderators, folks, these channels operate with moderators because sometimes you need the moderation to maintain the chat. And in often cases, some moderation crews that are good will actually help the host come up with information in a particular topic. They do research. They send emails. They contact them on Discord. They actually participate in the stream. Not on screen, but fair enough, Clue. Is that accurate in what moderation encompasses?
Yes.
So just be aware that all of the people I'm naming are also the people that are pushing the hell onto these parents and trying to get two sets of parents go back and forth at each other for clicks and money. That's what this channel does. And all of these moderators are guilt either by association or direct involvement in doing this to the Proudfoots. It's disgusting. It's filthy. Clue? I mean, Cletus?
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a fucking tragedy.
And just so people know, these people all come from the Terry Lynn show.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, which is beyond me. I can't fucking stand to hear her. Let alone, I couldn't imagine what caliber of individual it would take to make sure that anybody that comes in with an opposing view is removed from her fucking chat room.
Unless the view is attacking, right? The view must be attacked, disparaged, and accused that Chris is involved or Katie's involved in the missing of the boy. Fair enough?
Yeah, that's fair.
And if you don't go along with that, then you get kicked out. And who kicks the people out? Generally the moderators, right?
That's right.
I think Clue has got it. She's got a famous boot out. Clue?
I don't know what that means.
Well, you booted somebody from here. I think there's only one person banned from here now.
Oh yeah, WSU mom Kim.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, goodbye. Boom. Yeah, there's no value. I don't buy rotten fruit. Sorry.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know, Sarge.
Right.
I
Do
don't
you
know
think it's fair
anymore.
I'm calling out them? Do you think it's fair I'm calling out these moderators individually?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's gotten to a point where, you know, I'm seriously at the point where I feel like freedom of speech needs to be revamped, because it, you know, it was an idea that never saw the internet coming, and these fucking
Well,
rabid cunts put up with it. They tolerate it. They embrace it.
they
They
promote it. They
support.
help create it.
Exactly. And it's just I don't know.
And the interesting thing is the viewers in this stream and the viewers connected to this channel and others like it. We're going to give them a dose to show them that your Tucker Carlson's all the way down to moderation on YouTube. How these people have absolutely no moral compass. They have no sense of decency, and they have no sense of responsibility for their own actions. None. These people are just a bunch of filthy fucks. And you as viewers, the mass majority of you that don't help create these streams, that don't actually participate directly in the streams, but may just by your own presence support the stream economically, because that's how they earn money, is based on views. You're participating, you're helping us. Even if you're in there for curiosity, you're helping spread that hateful information to others, and you're helping pay the creator of that. It's a very, very fucked up system. And it's designed in a way that if you did the right thing with it, it would self-perpetuate the same way all of this bullshit self-perpetuates. Blue, Cletus?
No, it's I don't know. Last week I think I had some hope it reinstilled in me, because I saw, you know, firsthand account of somebody that was in this stream going into sorry, these dogs are practicing the fucking Indy 500 in the living room. You know, I saw some hope when one of the people that were viewing this stream went into that web sleuth stream and told them, like, this is unacceptable. You need to do better, essentially, right? And it triggered the host of that show so much that they put it up on screen and called it out. It got their attention enough to actually mention it.
Right.
And it's like, you know, it seems like since I've seen and had the ability to get some hope reinstilled, it's like the volume on the fuckery is turned up tenfold.
I want to make a point for the viewers that are in here, or for viewers that may come across this stream. I know what I'm doing seems pretty fucked up, but let me just share with you a simple point. These people are creating tragedy in every single one of these cases through their rush to judgment. And we had, if you listen to some of Dago's stream, we watched the video of this missing girl, and that could have went against the people that were on those videos. Is that accurate, Lou? We could have started like interpreting these people were involved. They had to have known, right? We could have went down that road, right? And we didn't. We stuck to the facts, and we looked at different things, and we let things move forward. What else can we do? We made no accusations. We didn't create drama and tragedy inside of an already known tragedy. This little girl's gone, man, right? And so we did not try to create villains inside of this information. And now we're told this young girl's been found. And that if that's true, and I hope to God it is, that's awesome. But when we're able to look at the same case like Krish or any of the other cases, and not create or run with this tragic bullshit idea just so that you got something to talk about, that's why these people need to be called out. They're better than that. They don't have to do that. They're clever, smart people. They do. Just imagine if they were digging for shit that was relevant instead of trying to go back into Chris's background, right?
Yeah.
And they want these parents to argue. That one Dolly Vision wants to throw gas, get rid of the public whatever that guy's relations dude is.
Yeah, he wants to get rid of the public relations guy and bring back the PIs who secretly record phone calls and then publish them on the fucking internet.
And what did Terry do tonight?
Yeah.
Isn't Terry? She's the gas can tonight, isn't she?
Yeah, one of a couple. I've seen a couple that fucking the lab did the same shit, and it's, you know, why? And y'all are all attacking this man because he's mad about something that he absolutely should be fucking furious about.
Amen.
And he speaks his piece to a private investigator who is recording the phone call. I don't have a problem with that, but I do have a problem with that ragged bitch putting it out to the internet to just simply be used to attack and antagonize this man and his wife.
Right.
And these creators and these moderators that provide them with this horse shit, just I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it. Is it really worth $1? Is selling your soul for this bullshit and destroying people's lives, even creating one moment of hell for these people? Is that really what your soul is worth, right? Is that really what you want to fucking be known for?
It's probably worth less than what they're getting, but I'm just saying.
I don't even want to place a. See, here's the thing: is how can a group of people that I rang off in Terry's channel, right? How could none of them have a conscious thought that maybe we should back off of this and see if we can't do more to help find the boy, and then, if there's any relevance to any of that stuff, come back and visit it, right? We got a head start on it, but there seems to be an inability for anybody with a decent conscious thought to step in and tell these fucking morons, cut it out. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, the dollar has become more important than compassion.
Right. And you know, and that's a major part of the brainwashing. They think that they're doing something productive. They're convinced that the time spent to dig into Chris, to dig into a hospital worker, to dig into a HIV biochemist, to start disparaging and destroying and digging up their past, is the process you're supposed to look at these tragedies through. And it's just shocking to me. That would be like me if I'm going to go work on my car, grabbing a pair of scissors and cutting my front lawn. There just has fucking, it's stupid and completely unrelated to what matters. If the car's broke, fix the fucking car. The kid's missing, find the kid. I don't even know if I can come up with any more analogies to make it simpler. It's just, and we as viewers play a role in this because how many followers has that woman got? Right?
Yeah.
I don't even know. I'm going to go look. I closed her page, but I suspect it's got to be a lot. And I'm not saying that because I want you guys to come here. Most of you snowflake, brainwashed fucking morons, the 5.62 billion, you wouldn't be able to spend the fucking minute with me in a room. Okay? Or in a fucking chat. Okay? And I have no problem with that. She has, let me see here. No, that's the wrong guy. You know, I mean, especially if you see the world through the eyes of the fucking bullshit you're doing. You know what I mean? I have nothing in common with you if that's who you are. Oh, I am. How do you think about that, Cletus?
No, I agree. I mean, you know, nobody's perfect. We all have our bad fucking moments. We all do dumb shit. We all do shit that could and probably does have a negative impact on other people at times. But to make it your purpose, just to purposely completely fucking ignore the tragedy that you're adding to a tragedy is beyond me.
To not even have a conscious consideration for that. I mean, the bottom line is, like I had said, like tonight went real well with that young girl.
Yep.
On the idea that she's been found, how that was handled, at least in the information we all shared in this Endago stream, couldn't have been better.
No, I agree. I mean, there's discussions that people could clip out of there and say, oh, well, they're lying. They were trying to make a villain. And it's, yeah, you could say that, but it's fairly evaluating the facts that are available over the course of 45 minutes. And at the end of that, just evaluating those facts and ultimately saying, we just hope she's found.
Right. And always saying that and not villainizing anybody. Nobody pointed. There were things that were said we pointed out that we thought were a little off color or confusing or questionable. But not to say that person ran off with that kid or did something bad to the kid. Just a question on a statement. She ran, creeks are overflowing. She could have flowed down the creek. Well, that just seems like an awfully specific thing to say, right?
Right.
But that doesn't mean the woman doesn't mean what she means exactly what she says, apparently, because they did find the girl. So we didn't jump to conclusions and start pointing at her as having anything to do with it. But I think some questions, we looked at the road, we saw a dry ditch, right? Doesn't hurt to question things, but don't accept the answers of the questions as they are, and not make up your own definition of an answer and then start accusing people. Deception, dismantled echoes. Oh, this one. So let me think here. So those were just mods there. She has 14,500 subscribers, and she got 2,100 views on CP Threatens Investigators.
And that just
that whole title, let me just say, one investigators, the police, TBI, who?
The private investigators.
I know,
Yeah.
but you see how fucking smart little bitch that she is?
Yeah.
Yeah, honey, I only need a few dollars. You go to your fucking credit card, it's maxed out. You're like, what? What? Fucking bitch told me a few dollars. For real, bro. CP threatens investigators. No, CP went off and told the investigator to cut that fucking shit out, the nasty little whatever she is. And he had every right to make those statements. But the way that's titled, doesn't that leave you open to the idea she's talking about case investigators?
Yeah, well, just the word threaten, right?
Yeah.
The word threaten and what that implies with the perception that she herself has had a huge hand in creating about him, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it's sickening.
I mean, he threatened her with the cops, so.
Yeah, but I mean, they paint this picture of this guy as if
but I'm saying, like, he's not like threatening to do bodily harm.
No, but that's the way that title is worded, right? To play on the perception that she herself has created and aided in the creation of that he's an out of control lunatic. When at the end of the day, at the end of the day, he's a father that has a missing child, and he's fucking pissed, as he should be.
That title shows you that this creator knows what she's doing. She's doing it intentionally. Every one of them sycophant fucking moderators she got is helping her put this stuff together and discuss it. Okay? Even special needs mom. She's got some special needs, I'll tell you. To even affiliate herself with a provider like this. And the filth that these people have heaped at that man's fucking feet is just wrong. And all fucking more, there is no compass for what these people are doing. And yet, everybody, all these viewers, 14,500 people think she's okay. Unbelievable. Cletus?
Yeah, it's and she's one of fucking many. And her mods are a few of many more.
many more. Yeah, man, JLR is a big instigator of this, and I just find it amazing. I don't think anybody that listens to this with a fair ear would actually find anything they could use to contradict the point we're making. Do you?
No, not at all. I don't think anybody truly watching anything, hell, just looking at the thumbnails and titles and truly paying attention to what they're seeing could argue the point. They may disagree because they personally engage and love it themselves, which is fine. You're fucked up. Get out of here. But you can't argue the truth of it.
No.
That they're all fucked up, and the people that watch them and support them are fucked up, and they need to cut the fuck out.
And here's the best part. They don't need to be fucked up like that. It's not that difficult to see what you're doing. It's just vile. And so cut it out.
Right.
Go buy a billboard for the boy. Okay. I do something. Go on to another case. Right. Yeah. And try to find someone else's child, or try to do something productive with your, knit me a one-arm fucking sweater for my girl.
Well, and I mean, that's a very good point about the billboard, right? The billboards that Duchess has promoted and handled run about $20 a day. Imagine how many billboards could be added to the campaign if these fucking people took their super chats that they're throwing at these fucking tragedy pimps and put them toward that.
I do that, thank you.
Yep. That's cheap, $20 a day. I didn't know they were that inexpensive.
Yeah, $20 a day.
And where do you get these billboards from? The local areas?
I think she set the campaign up through a company called Blip. You do it all online, and
Okay.
you pick the locations and upload the image, and it'll cycle through. I think it's like a 8-second thing
it shows for 8 seconds.
Yeah.
And then another ad comes up.
Yeah.
So 8 seconds. So you get 756, roughly 7 other ads. So you're one of 7 for that minute.
Right.
Yeah, that's not so bad. You're up every minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. I didn't know they were that inexpensive. I wish I'd have known that in the very beginning. Up here, I was figuring I looked for my business for a month on a billboard. It could be in a poor location, $2,500 or as much as $15,000.
Well, and I mean, I'll look at it like this too. Let's talk about the late and not so great Trev time with the Wandering Eyes. He, I'm satisfied he made a couple of $1,000 off of that fucking horseshit interview or, Me Too speech from Chris's ex, right?
Yep.
And that, so what the campaign on the last campaign on the billboards, I think cost $1,200, and it ran for almost 3 months. He could have taken that money, applied them to billboards, and ran a whole nother campaign, right? Actually done something good.
Some just hit me, and it's a bit disturbing. But and this may not be true, but I bet it the preponderance of the evidence might support it. But if you look at the nation as a whole, there's a group of people that always want to go for the fucking bullshit. It could be political fucking views.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Look how they are in the fucking true crime and other areas on social media. There's this big fucking group of fucking people that thrive on this fucking shit. Right? And they'll fucking come online and they'll go, they don't give a fuck. Some people are actually profiting from it. And here's the sad thing is that this goes across the nation. It's almost like there is a core group of people that get into that. What do you think?
No, I agree. And, my challenge to them would be for, let's say, 6 of these creators, these drama pimps, I'll call it drama pimps. We won't even call it tragedy pimps. We'll just call
you can't call them pimps. Okay. I was going to say drama hookers, but.
Well, drama hookers, whatever. We'll call them drama hookers. You take 6 of these drama hookers. They rent the Lick of My Balls Convention Center and host a gala amongst all their viewers and get into this convention center and act in the convention center the way that they act online.
With the same stories, the same arguments, the
same bullshit, hateful fucking things that they will say through a keyboard. Get in a room and say it to each other.
There you go. Yeah. Boy, that would be chaotic. That'd be you could sell tickets to that.
Imagine the views you would get on that.
Damn. I might want to host that.
that would sell more than the 400 people watching the pay-per-view of Idaho.
It's absolutely the insanity that we put up with through social media and people's misconception that this doesn't mean it. I'll give you an example of what means something. Go put your social security and personal information online. Okay. Let me tell you how unreal the internet is. And in the next few days, when you wake up completely fucking bankrupt, okay, and maybe kicked out of your home and all your fucking credit cards are maxed out and your bank's drawn down, right? Tell me how unreal the internet is then. When you go after a father and a mother that lost a son from their own fucking home, you have to give those people a little bit of respect. That doesn't mean you can't suspect them. It doesn't mean you can't ask questions or look into stuff, but you certainly do not start heaving that shit at the parents' feet like this.
All right. Yeah.
And it's just wrong for JLR. He wants to prod this guy and try to get this guy into an argument so that he can get an interview, so he can get clicks, so his sick moderators and his sick viewers can all fucking masturbate to going after Chris Rogers or Chris. What's his last name?
Proudfoot.
Proudfoot. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Back to you, please.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm it's one of those things where at times I literally sit and I go, you know, I'm ashamed to at times I am ashamed to even be affiliated with horse shit like this, to even have my voice on the internet and to take part in the just horse shit of it.
Yeah, the horse shit, it doesn't need be. That's the best part. Is these people that we're calling out? They just need to make a small little change. Well, they very well could be an everyday life. Maybe their everyday person isn't such a bunch of fucking hateful witch hunting fucks. I don't know.
Well, I mean the the truth of the matter is, right, if they have it in them to show it online, it's just a matter of pushing the right button for them to show it in their everyday life. So it absolutely does exist with them in their everyday lives. If you don't have a conscience and a fucking soul on the internet, you don't have one in real life.
Right.
Because it is real life. Like that's just that it is what it is. It's like the other day you and I were having the conversation and I said, you know, Sarge is the ultimate fucking troll. And it's like, you know, you're not just the ultimate troll in chat rooms. You're the ultimate fucking troll. You have a conversation with you, you're gonna get something thrown at you. Some type of smart ass comment or insult, right? It's just how it is.
I can't help myself. I'm broken that way.
Right. And I mean,
right. But it is funny. It is funny. And most of the time there's no ill intent involved. But that's you know, the times that there is, like when we're here, I have no positive feelings for these people unless they think about what they're doing. And look, if you can justify to me that doing what's being done to Chris, Katie, and Seth, that if that holds, that's just perfectly normal and okay. If there's a way to convince me of that, if there is data that shows me I'm wrong and that is okay, right, then I'll accept that. But I don't think all the crazies on the internet have any way to show logically or reasonably or with common sense how what's going on with these parents and promoting and profiting from it and throwing gas on it, how that helps anything. I think it's a losing battle for them.
Yeah, and I would contend that it actually delays progress in a case.
Right. And the sickness is this is one of the reasons America was founded. And I keep bringing up the Salem witch trials because this is exactly what society did back then. The rumor mill started. And women were burned for things they didn't even do, being claimed as witches. And when you get on the internet and you go to true crime, and politics is the same way. And there's always this evil undertone of a group or masses of people that have to find somebody to point at and accuse and denigrate and fuck with. Fair enough?
That's fair.
And I don't understand the value in that. Maybe it's because I'm fucking on the spectrum of autism. Maybe I'm fucking retarded or something. Cletus?
No, I think you just got a really good way of being able to turn the emotion to a situation off. Or I won't even say turn it off, but it comes at you slower than other people. So you can fairly evaluate the facts of something before the emotional evaluation comes into play.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That is something that a process I go through. And I also want to say, especially to any of the single ladies out there, that, you know, at my age, I'm good for two things. Okay. My wallet and my dick. Pick two. Cletus?
Both of them are broke.
Both of them's broke, he says. Breaking news from the help desk. I need help. Whoa, I need help.
Just say both of them are broke.
Well, there you heard it right here.
I heard it from a one-arm masseuse.
Oh man, that's a hell of a way to learn what the word prosthesis is. I can promise you that. That was too big of a word for a 19-year-old sergeant. Maybe I was 20. Could have just said it was a fake arm, honey, but no. It'd terrify me. 12 gauge is here. Look, there's 12 gauge. 12 gauge lives.
Nice. I have came to conclusion most are on the dark side. They call church cults unresolved issues they throw out there to the world.
Yeah. Hey, look at golf inspectors there. I got a text from her last night.
Today it's shameful to be part of YouTube community. No ways around it. I am livid. Yeah. I don't.
Well, it's not just YouTube. It's also Twitter. For like, okay, Trump's going through the case now with Stormy Daniels again, and now they're saying what I said. The minute it happened, I started digging into paperwork, the accusations, the charges, everything connected to Michael Cohen, right? And I concluded then that what Michael Cohen did with that Avenatti, who was another attorney involved in this Stormy Daniels saga, that they created a story under which they were going to hold over Trump's head if he got elected president. So they were trying to take, I don't even know what you would call that. Not fraud, but anyway. And in fact, now all these years later, guess what's being said in open court? That's exactly what Avenatti and Mr. Cohen were doing. They were trying to get dirt on Trump, even though, and all the dirt was manufactured. But once they had the dirt on Trump, they were going to use that to extort Trump or to hold it over his head for leverage. That came out in the court now. But that's people would have read what I read. Okay, here's the point: if you'd have just read the documents, you would have seen what was in the documents. You'd have been able to know that Cohen and Avenatti and Stormy Daniels worked together to try to frame to hold something over Trump's head. And this wouldn't be a surprise. You go on YouTube or you go on Twitter today, and everybody thinks this is a big deal. It's like, no, it's not a big deal. That's why this thing should have never been brought to trial to begin with. If more people would just read the documents instead of going with the narrative of the day, the outrage of the day, right? Chris hit him with a belt. Trump screwed a Stormy Daniels. Complete lie.
Well, and it's the danger in, putting leaders in to me, leaders in all of this, right? Dago made a point about this. I think it was last night. These fucking creators, these 100, 200,000 sub people that put out all this go and dig all this shit up and put it out and just, market it even, right? And they put all this out. These people are people that all of the smaller creators look to as how do I become successful like that, right? And people put them on a pedestal and they follow that. And the same is true in politics and everything else, right? Just like what you're talking about. I'm sure there was a divide in the aisle on that argument, on who was right and who was wrong. And at the end of the fucking day, look at the facts of it. Quit looking at what the leader that's standing there talking says. Look at the facts and then judge the leader based on what they're saying
don't
instead of emotional outrage that they create in you.
Correct. Do not listen to Tucker Carlson. Go get the documents of whatever the information is he's trying to share with you. If more people did that, I know it sounds boring, but obviously it can't be that boring because you're interested in the topic. So if you're interested in the topic, why would you surrender your fucking capacity to think to some stranger? What, because they were the same church, they were the same religion? Well, what's your reason for that, folks? Because that's what you're doing. 5.62 billion of you fuckers are letting other people think for you. And here you think you're in charge of your own thoughts. You're really not. You want to be in charge of your own thoughts, then stand up and do the right thing. Doing the right thing requires thinking. It always has and always will. So if you want to be a thinker, start doing the right fucking thing. Golf and 12 gauge. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
Awesome. Feel free to speak in, you two. You guys have the floor for,
Yeah.
Golf, go ahead first.
I'm livid today. I'm thinking of personal responsibility. Like, is nobody going to take any fucking personal responsibility in this country for what they're doing? I was just listening to that interview with the whatever, or that phone conversation that everybody's talking about. I don't know if you guys talked about that. The the Chris Proudfoot phone conversation, and it
We
made
did.
me absolutely outrageous. I just can't speak anymore.
Well,
Like
tell
I'm
us what made you outrageous, so we understand.
well, so basically what he's saying is totally going everybody over everybody's heads. That these girls, these private PIs have stirred up a pot so big, like a shit pile of shit for this guy, for this family, and nobody's taking responsibility. No, they're turning that shit around, that he's angry and threatening people. I've
Yeah.
never seen anything like it. This is insanity to me. I just like I'm ashamed of being part of a YouTube community today because of it. It's shameful. And people don't like to take personal responsibility for shit, and it makes me angry.
No, that's exactly what prompted the creation of this stream. And it isn't that difficult. People don't talk about this topic at all. People don't. And look, I'd rather be in here on the same page as every one of these creators and every one of these moderators. There is common ground for all of us, and it's very simple. You don't got to do what I want you to do, but all I'm suggesting is we all pay attention to the facts. I think if we do that and stick ourselves to the facts, we could cover more cases, do more good, and maybe even come together as a group to send letters, get billed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
There's
I
millions of
mean,
us in here, and
it's it
everybody's
takes.
outraged.
I understand that, Sarge, but you have to take personal responsibility. You can't rely on other people to do it for you. Like at one point, you have to be like, okay, I'm listening to bullshit right now. That's your personal responsibility to like stop listening to bullshit. You can't
Right.
train people to do it.
No, but you could point out to people as you're going out the door. This is bullshit. You people are going about this the wrong way.
Yeah, but
Right.
again, it's their fucking personal responsibility to for their own actions because they
I
participate in that bullshit.
I agree. I agree. And I think those of us that are smart enough not to participate in that degrading, evil, nasty shit have moral obligation to say something to the people that are around you doing it. Fair enough.
Yeah, but like when is
It's
like
exhausting. Don't get me wrong.
yeah,
It's fucking
yeah,
exhausting.
it's fucking exhausting, and to have to, and even if you point it out, this is worse than the Salem witch trials because the Salem witch trials, people were pretty dumb back then, right? They weren't as educated as we could be today, possibly. Like fucking educate yourself with your mind. Listen to what's being said. Don't listen to what the creators or whatever is trying to tell you. Just listen to what the fucking man says
Right.
without judgment, and that's
And
a
read the
problem.
documents and think for yourself. Read the information and listen to a couple of different perspectives and then think for yourself. That's what that's how we learn together. That's how we interact as humans. That's why we have the ability to talk to each other.
Yeah.
We weren't given ears and a mouth for looks. Right?
Well, I
Sorry.
agree with you. I agree with you, Golf. I really do. I had the same kind of scenario happen to me earlier. Um, I was listening to this creator who I usually listen to, and I respect her thinking at times. She has a very level head on her shoulders, but she has an anger problem. And she started bashing the church. She started bashing the preacher guy. She started throwing her own domestic violence issues into the mix. She started talking about how she could relate to this and that and the other and about being stalked and all this. And on her that freaking thing that you showed to the YouTube crowd that you write on it, kind of like what Sarge had, your ass hurts. Well, on it, she had put she would Micah was driven to this end result. She had no other choice. What kind of, I told her, I said, as an educated person and a domestic violence survivor, you don't believe that this individual had another choice? I said, that's absurd. And she got pissed off at me. And, obviously she went off on me on the comment, but, it's stupid to be talking about somebody that killed themselves for one. Two, you don't know exactly what happened in that whole 20 years. Sure, we've been given information, but you know what?
Very
We didn't
level.
live a day in their lives. We didn't spend one moment in those people's lives to know exactly what went on. We can sit there and see something written, and instantly we jump. Now all of a sudden the father of the preacher is supposedly getting arrested, or the preacher is a pedophile and this and that and the other, and he was partying it up and this and that and the other. I mean, come on, man, that's sickening.
Oh, but keep in mind, this is how stupid it really is. The fact that the preacher is a pedophile is only a problem because it's not who they've chosen sides with. This preacher literally mirrors Seth Rogers. If you have a problem with his behavior, why don't you have a problem with Seth's behavior? Oh, wait, because that you can't be on the other side and still make your money. Got it.
Agree.
Yeah, and this whole pool of shit that and I'm glad people actually pay attention at all this channel, whether it's one person or two people. No, because I think we're sharing some of the most valuable information on the internet. We're all fucked up from the floor up, and only we can fix it. And really, by fixing it, oh my God, what a reality we could have. Instead of this, man, I don't know. That girl I know with one arm, knit her a sweater for me with 3 arms. I'm sure that'll make a lot of fucking sense.
Well, so, and then another problem is people want to relate to like their own stories in these situations. Has nothing fucking to do with it. The situation is like totally different, right? So, this happened to me, so therefore this is how I think. Not everything is about you, The only thing that's about you is the decisions you make, and you taking responsibility for what you do. That is yours. The rest is not.
Wait the longer the delay, the closer you get to being banged out of here. 12 gauge. Oh, here he is. Please.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, power.
You were right next to Dago on that one.
Yeah, the power just went out. Back on.
Tornadoes again?
No, I'm thinking the the soil saturation may have caused a pole or two to fall.
Oh, geez.
I saw a about 100-foot fir tree today. The root wad causing the ground to bulge where it was leaning sideways.
Dang.
In town.
Oh.
It gets that wet there, huh? Why don't they try to put the pole somewhere where they're not going to sink?
Well, it
So
usually
last
doesn't
night-
rain 7 inches in one day.
Yeah, we got we got 7 inches of rain in like one day yesterday.
Oh my God. Did it overflow your pool?
Oh, no, it
No.
actually drained. So,
Dang.
It what?
Well,
drained.
there you have it. So where were we? There's golf. 12 gauge. Did this?
Yes,
They
sir.
didn't boot you out, right? They just they got very upset at your comment.
Their ass obviously hurt
Their ass is hurting for a long time.
because I got called backhanded. Why would you leave a backhanded comment on my post or something? I'm like,
Yeah, we don't know what went through that poor woman's mind. She took her own life. It's horrific. We're never going to know enough information to know because she's gone and cannot speak for herself anymore.
Well,
And that's all. That's what you have to live with.
and what's crazy is the preacher told the congregation she had mental health issues, right?
right.
I mean, could that be true?
Yeah, I mean, obviously she was bipolar if she was taking lithium.
Oh, we
Well,
know that to be a fact.
I've heard that somewhere.
Oh,
I can't confirm or deny the source, but I heard that.
all right,
Not that she was bipolar, but she was on lithium.
All right.
I mean, obviously you can take lithium for other things, but it's mainly prescribed for bipolar.
Or phone.
And if she was in a mania, it explain the erratic behaviors that she exhibited, going and buying a gun,
Yeah,
calling, all that stuff.
I agree.
Brian Paula, when you lose a loved one, everybody acts differently. And so who the guy had to address in a congregation. I don't know how many people lose their wife to suicide and then have to address a I don't live in that guy's shoes. I don't know why he would have said what he said. But I mean, you got to realize the person's grieving. They're not thinking straight. That's what I mean. We don't give anybody the benefit of the doubt. People say things that are out of color, out of character, and what we think is out of color, out of character, and automatically we want to start focusing on that person as maybe there's more to see here. And unless evidence comes forward to tell us there's more to see here, we should just leave it alone.
Well, and that's what I was going to say is, I heard a little bit about this situation and the preacher. And what I heard that really made me think was that everybody started coming at him because he posted videos, or there were videos posted of him talking about the situation in front of his congregation. And if I'm not, the way I understand it is he posted the videos. And it's like, I get people would feel how they're going to feel about that. But the drama and the hate that has been created from people and how they feel in that situation from hearing that would deter anybody from ever speaking about anything. I mean, look at Sebastian Rogers, right? This situation. These parents can't speak without fear of being just crucified publicly.
I like people that take them the medicines for depression and other illnesses of the mind. All of you that take them, please read the fucking label, and it tells you that you will have a manic episode. You will have, not maybe, not possible. You fucking will have, and you don't know when that's going to happen, or you might be lucky enough and it never happens, which would be unusual because the warning label is very clear. Use of this drug will cause a manic episode. That's a horrific thing to have on a pill bottle that's supposed to be taking care of your depression or other things. So if this woman had any medicine in her, I mean, there's so many variables in how people decide to do what they do, even in horrible situations. Why we have to attack the surviving husband, regardless of how their marriage was at the end. I just don't get how everybody thinks it's okay to go after that guy. Does anything connect this guy? This woman is totally ruled a suicide, right? There's no doubt.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So now he did it through mental anguish. That's where they're going to go. These sick bastards.
That's where they've gone. Right. He created the situation. He pushed her to that point.
Right.
I might be wrong, but most women. Hey, I might be wrong, but most women would kill the guy rather than kill themselves. Am I right?
I don't know about that, but I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't think so. I think they do self.
I know some women that would. I know some women say, "I ain't taking myself out. I'll take you out."
Well, I could see Clue. She'd take out the whole neighborhood. She sent tornadoes around the people she didn't like. She missed. You never know the power of a woman. You got to be careful.
That's true.
Yeah, side effects are far scarier than the illness, 9 out of 10 times. So, but here, the tragedy lovers, the pimp hookers, or tragedy hookers. What do we call them again there, Cletus?
The tragedy pimps or tragedy hookers, whatever you wanted to call them, hookers. So
yeah, tragedy hookers. Okay, yeah. The tragedy hookers, they're the good ones. They got no teeth. Are all over this shit, or their teeth come in and out. It's just one of those features. That's typically what a tragedy hooker is capable of. And you can go to anywhere on any of those channels, the JLRs, the Dollies, the Smiley Story, the Terry Lynn's, the T-Revs, and get your dosage of witch hunting, hate, speculation, and tragedy that never existed before these people showed the fuck up.
Well, and I just hope that the ads YouTube chooses to play during their streams is for medication that'll treat the condition.
It's yeah. And like I said before, imagine if Christ had this kind of power to communicate, or Buddha, or Allah, or whatever the Japanese worship or the Indians or all of you. Imagine if you were religious symbol, or even if it's a political symbol. Imagine if George Washington had this. Just go back in time to people that could have really used this as a tool to get their message out, right? And here we are in a society that has an infinite power to transmit information, knowledge, right? And what do? We try to create outrage, and we drown in outrage created by actual, real fucking crimes, both in our justice system, our political body, and our own communities. And we come out here, and all we do is add to it. It's fucking epic. Cletus?
We were having a conversation last night with a lady that is the epitome of, and you know, self-proclaimed nosy neighbor, right? And we were talking about the some of this stuff that goes on the internet and the level of digging into people's past and shit people do. And to remind you, this is the nosy neighbor, but even she was disgusted by it and said, "Why? Why do people want to know all this shit about people? Well, you know,
Yeah.
why do people want to know all these things about people?"
And this is another reason we're being able to mine all of this data through all these user agreements, through all these sites to put all this shit out there. Can really be a devastating fucking event in your life, right?
Yeah.
And to be honest with you too, here's the other thing that's always bothered me with most of the Proudfoot, I'll say all of the Proudfoot stuff that I've observed, is this guy told you what was up and what he was about and what had happened and blah blah blah. He's the one that put this stuff out there, right? A lot of the topics people focused on to attack him with were things that he said had happened in his life when it came to him and Sebastian.
Yeah, there were things that were put out in the public, and I'm presumed so that they would be asked of him to speak on, and he he didn't hesitate, right? He spoke on them.
Right. Yeah. So the guy didn't try to hide or make excuses or
no.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You know, and people paid attention to it and that reason, and then they came to conclusions about the guy. And then all of that, those conclusions for a guy 3.5 hours away, all of that, if you made any conclusion in your brain that guy has something to do with the disappearance, there's something wrong with you. You need help. You need to leave the man alone. You need to leave all of these people alone that have tragedies befall them, and then you start to victimize the people that that are victims. Fair enough.
Fair enough. Or at least like look at all of them as under the same
Right.
radar, right? Or under the same microscope. It's not just one-sided. And that's people are just incapable of doing that. They need
Right.
somebody to lead them to that, horse of water situation. And that's what's so sad. Is like either you look at all of them as guilty or none of them, and that's it. There are 3 parents involved here.
But when you interact with them, you should treat them as not guilty of anything but losing a child, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. But I'm saying if you're going to look at somebody in a guilty way, you're going to have to look at all of them in a guilty way because
Right.
nobody's been cleared.
But even if you do see them that way, your interaction with them should have anything to do with what you're thinking.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Common dignity you share to someone that just lost a child, regardless of the circumstances. They lost a child, right?
But that's where the problem comes in, like JLR, and he's riling people up against, like he sniffs out one piece of information. That's enough. That's enough.
Right.
And that's just not fair to, anybody in this situation. Not even his audience, who is stupid enough to fall for it.
Well, and the sad part is you create an environment that's comfortable enough for somebody actually living through one of these tragedies to where they call in and are jovial, right? And then that becomes an issue. That like you cannot create a comfortable environment for these people on the internet because that will get used against them.
And then the same people want to bitch because they won't come out and talk.
Right.
Yeah.
There is that amongst these fucking people that do this, there's no room for humanity at all. You have to create you have to add tragedy and drama to an already tragic and dramatic situation. Otherwise, you're a problem.
judgment or judgment. It has to be
Yeah.
loaded with judgment.
Right.
And they're the same people who look you in the face and they do something stupid and tell you, don't judge me. You have no right to judge me. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
okay. You judgmental prick.
Don't you judge me.
Don't you judge me.
Don't you dare. No, they say, don't you dare judge me.
I love that line in
Yeah.
the movie. That shit was awesome. All right, folks, it's 10 o'clock. It was a wonderful show. I welcome 12 Gauge and Golf Inspector. Thank you
Thanks,
for coming
Sarge.
up.
Thanks, Sarge.
We always have the true and determined, the Cluminati, not to be mistaken as 2 words or a name. It's actually 1 word, the name of a show. And the unknowable Bigfoot of a person, Cletus. Great
Have a
show.
good evening. That motherfucker.
I didn't hang up on you. I didn't hang up on you.
Oh.